Welcome back. Two local scholars are celebrating after winning $10,000 grants to fund personal projects. They're among the latest recipients of A&P scholarships, and their work is set to benefit residents throughout the country.
Revelling in the moment. These local scholarship winners are still on cloud nine after receiving grants to fund further study and professional development.
I'm still kind of blown away. I can't believe it, really. Feel incredibly privileged to be counted among an amazing group of New Zealanders who are doing some really awesome stuff.
She'll be using her scholarship to fund further study around cancer treatment. That'll see her travelling to Washington DC and working with some of the world's top paediatricians. She's planning to bring back what she learns overseas to enhance cancer treatments in New Zealand.
We're working with paediatric neuroblastoma, which is a very rare, aggressive form of childhood cancer. It's a nasty one. The poor little kids suffer terribly through the treatment, and in most cases the treatment doesn't work. So it's a cancer that's really ripe for a new approach such as immunotherapy.
Stuart Gunn's wanting to use his scholarship to finish off an error-proof GPS emergency alert app that he's been creating. The mobile phone application will warn people about extreme weather, emergencies and things like road closures. He's also hoping it'll work to predict earthquakes.
Now that we've won, it will enable us to finish the app and bring it to market, probably within about 6 months, which will bring all our plans forward quite a bit and provide New Zealand with a service that's lacking.
The pair were flown to Auckland, where their work was showcased to a crowd of hundreds before being awarded with trophies. In total, a dozen Kiwis were given scholarships after about 2,000 people applied. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
Dozens of junior tennis players have been taking to the Edgar Centre's courts for a regional tournament. More than 50 youth were involved in the annual event, which pitted the lower South Island's top players against one another. And there were some big hits among these small competitors.
Rallying their way to victory. Dozens of primary and intermediate school children have been giving their all on the court. This day-long championship event brought together top players from across the lower South Island. Organisers say even the lead-up's been a competitive process.
We've got 56 children here today from year 6 and under and year 8 and under grades. Each of the children played in their local regions qualifying tournaments, and so we've got the best players here today to represent their regions but also to represent their schools and themselves for that chance to play in the final later in the month.
The length of the tournaments meant the best players have been hitting the court several times. It's been a busy and tiring day, but for some players the sport's appeal is simple.
I just like the competitiveness and yeah, it's fun.
One way the sport has been made easier for young players is the use of less inflated balls, giving kids more time to hit them. Locally, there are plenty of youngsters getting involved in tennis, but regional club leaders are looking at how to keep children engaged as they get older.
There is a drop-off around sort of 14 years old, I guess, and I think that's similar in all sports, and that's something that tennis is looking into at the moment in terms of how we can get more children to stay in the game, and I think, as I said, other sports are looking at the same kind of things as well.
Annie is nearing the age where a lot of children give up the sport, but she's determined to stick with it when she begins high school next year.
I'll try keep playing every week if I can.
For now, she and her fellow competitors have the next level of competition on their minds. Those who have done well are heading to Timaru to compete in the South Island tournament later this month. Ruby McAndrew, 39 Dunedin News.
A local primary school will be refurbishing its swimming pool after hitting a fundraising goal. McAndrew Bay School has raised more than $100,000 to upgrade ageing facilities, and the improvement is set to exceed expectations.
A pool that's almost unrecognisable. McAndrew Bay School leaders are looking through their outdated swimming pool that's in urgent need of an upgrade.
Our pool was built in the late 60s, and over that time it's had little bits of work done to it, but at the moment it's really suffering and it just needs a huge overhaul.
Board members and school staff decided something needed to be done with the pool at the start of this year, so they took to fundraising. Locals have been chipping in, donating $20,000 from their own pockets. The school's just received an extra boost from grants, and that's elevated the total above the $115,000 needed. Now extra maintenance work is in the planning.
The Otago Community Trust told us last week that they would give us $32,000, which is just the last little amount of money that we needed to get everything done.
The roof is needing work and the filtration and plumbing systems have to be brought up to modern health and safety standards. It's all in the aim of enabling pupils to spend more quality time learning how to swim and staying afloat.
We need it really because our children live beside the water. They need to be safe by the water. They're in the water yachting and kayaking and they need to know how to swim. So it's really important that our kids get access to swimming programs that are good enough to help keep them safe in the water.
Work is due to begin once the swimming season's finished at the end of Term 1 next year. The upgraded pool should be ready by next summer, so McAndrew Bay children can once again make a splash. Annabelle Dick, 39 Dunedin News.
And finally, the city's social service agencies are campaigning against needless spending as the festive season approaches. They've launched a Christmas toy swap, allowing children to trade pre-loved items. It's part of a wider effort to reduce local debt.
Providing a fun day out with no hidden costs. Several child-friendly activities were on offer in the Octagon for the launch of this year's Choice Not Chance Big Value Christmas campaign. It's aiming to help local families enjoy the holiday season without spending too much or going into debt.
We're a collaboration of social agencies and individuals that are concerned about people facing unsustainable debt in Dunedin. So the idea behind the event is that Christmas can be a fun family day without having to spend a lot of money.
The idea behind the low-cost Christmas campaign came from several concerned community and church leaders last year. They're still seeing many local families struggling to finance gifts, food and activities for the festive season. In many cases, people are taking out loans to help meet costs. That can have dire implications in the long term.
People get themselves in over their head trying to service a lot of debt, which doesn't leave much money for essentials such as food, power, groceries.
As part of the campaign, organisers are making budgeting advice and information on community services available. For children, an ongoing toy swap is providing the opportunity to trade gifts without spending money. It's hoped the campaign is helping to counteract the message that Christmas is all about consumerism.
It's really about the obligation that parents feel that they need to be spending money on their children. There's also a lot of pressure on TV and advertising in the paper, etc. Getting across the idea that it's okay to spend a lot of money at Christmas time and almost making people feel like they should be.
Organisers are estimating about 1,000 people participated in the weekend's campaign launch. They are hoping that'll ease the pressure for hundreds of local families come December. Ruby McAndrew, 39 Dunedin News.
And that's all for this edition of Southern Newsweek. Please do visit our website, dunedintv.co.nz, where you can download Southern Newsweek and watch individual clips of 39 Dunedin News or webcast the show. I'm Holly Buchanan. Thanks for watching.
Supporting local content so you can see more of New Zealand on air.